Now, a bit of a question. Bit of a question for you guys. So, one of the recommended videos that comes on my TV when I watch YouTube there um, is, well, one of them anyway, I should say, was talking about, was an well, not talking, well, yeah, they were talking about it, but they were also unboxing an Arcade1UP Countercade. Now, the question I'm sure anybody has, and probably wonders, but doesn't ask, is why did Arcade1UP decide to do the countercades? We understand why they did, the replications of the other classic arcades, and they even gave you the option to buy an additional standee to put the Arcade1UP replicated cabinet on there to give you the full experience of an actual arcade, as if as if you first originally played it back in the day. But now we're starting to see Arcade1UP coming out with these counter arcades. Now, obviously, they see potentially other, retro companies doing something similar, if not a little bit different. But now it seems they're doing it as well, and a lot of these are actually a lot less price-wise than what you would get with a regular Arcade1UP cabinet, with the additional and optional, riser to give you that authentic arcade feel. As if you were at the arcade playing. But why? Why now? Why is Arcade1UP doing this? Why didn't? Here's the question. Here's actually what the title of the video is probably going to be. Why didn't Arcade1UP do the countercades first, and then go to the replicated cabinets with the optional riser as a purchase for authentic arcade feel? Why didn't they do that? That's the question you should wonder, or you should be asking. Because when you think about it, if they would have gone this route, first, if they would have done the countercade first, that would have opened the doors a lot more. Because if these countercades would have sold right off the bat, if they would have gone in that direction first, I guarantee you that would give them more reasonings, mind you, to go to that next level, to go the replication of an actual arcade cabinet with the optional riser to give you that authentic arcade feel to go with it later on. Instead of going right for the gullet and saying, hey, let's do replicated arcade cabinets and with the additional risers to go with it right off the bat. Because even though those were good ideas, and I'll give them that, even though they were good ideas, and we sold plenty of them. When I used to work at Walmart, we sold plenty of them, even though I've never gotten one yet. You have to wonder why they just didn't go with the countercades in the first place. Because when you think about it, for someone like me where I live, it's more suitable, it's more economical. And if these sell well, especially like, let's say, during the Christmas season, that's going to give them more initiative to go that route of saying, okay, that sold well, let's try actually replicating an actual arcade cabinet, and let's add an additional riser to help the people out and give them that authentic feel at home. To me, it would have made more sense from a business inquiry or point of view. It would have made more sense. Because think about it. Think about think about people's housing situations. Let's put it this way. Think of people's housing situations. Do you think anybody would be able to have an arcade, one-up actual replicated cabinet in their house? No, not really. Do you think, let's say, with me, you live with your parents, or your mom, or your dad, or whatever, and the only room you might have to put that Arcade1UP in is the guest room, or maybe you make some room, just a tiny bit, in your room, and, and all that. Do you think they would accept it? Do you think they'd be cool with it? Maybe not. I mean, even if you said, hey, we got some room here in the living room, I can put it here. Do you think they'd be happy about that? Heck no. So to me, I think honestly the best solution would have been to go the countercade route. It would have been better, it would have been easier, and if they had sold well, which obviously they are, because you're seeing more come out, basically more countercade versions of of already established and released Arcade1UP replica cabinets. If they had gone the countercade route in the first place, these replica cabinets would have sold even more so, Because hey, you got a Countercade, you can probably take on the go if you feel like it, because you get a carrying case with it. You can put it back in the carrying case. You can take it with you, you know, for travel and all that to keep you busy. At a hotel, at a relative's, whatever. You can take it with you, no problems asked. But let's say you wanted to also play it at home, but you didn't want to bring it back out of the box when you brought it home. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. You have your actual arcade replica cabinet at home in the place where you would have it at to play it when you got home. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I think it would have made more sense from a business perspective to go the Countercade route. Then, if that proved to be successful, then go and make the announcement that you're going the Arcade1UP replica cabinet route. Because if you're able to bring authentic arcade experience to a Countercade, then and have that prove to be a success, then to me, I think it would have been the best. I think it would have been the best decision for them to go the route of Countercade first, and then Arcade1UP next, or the arcade replica cabinets next. It would have made more sense. It would have, again, the sales would have gone through the roof, and that would be more of an initiative, not just for Arcade1UP, but for all the companies that they'd be partnering with to make this happen. To say, okay, you sold the Countercades versions of the arcades very successfully. We trust you. Take it to the next level. It would have made more sense. But what do you guys think? Do you think maybe I'm just making a big deal about nothing? Or do you think maybe Arcade1UP going the Countercade route first would have made more business sense in the long run than going directly for the cabinet route, replicated cabinet route? What are your thoughts? Comment down below, live chat during the premiere, like the video, check me out at Teesprings, as well as at BW Rosa's discussion on all your favorite podcast locations except for Pandora, as well as BW Rosa's on Vimeo, and Brian Womer, aka BW Roses, on Patreon. And I do apologize if I paused a little bit. I was trying to think about what I was going to say. This is what happens when you do videos unscripted and on the fly. But let me know what your thoughts are.